Alright, I'm going to do a quick video on how I do inlays with carbon. Okay, this is basically the same paper you use for wrapping a car. You can use expensive, cheap shit, doesn't matter. I get it off of eBay. I think it's like 20 bucks for a yard or some shit like that. The reason it's important to make sure that the paper, because sometimes they have a different color backing. This, as you see, is black on both sides. Okay? As you see, it's very thin, it's pliable, all that. This is just carbon. This is some scrap from when I did inlays before. You literally make sure your weave is straight. Okay? So when you lay down your material on it, it'll keep the weave in place. Once the backing is on here, it's thin enough so that way when you do match it together or stitch it together or whatever you're using it for, if you need to go around an edge, as you see right here is a contour, you need to go around, it'll go around and it's not a problem. As you see right here, there's your material for the wrap or whatever, the adhesive. It'll wrap around whatever you need for the most part, and so it works as if it's not even there. Now when it comes down to cutting, I use an X-Acto knife because I'm pretty good with it, so I can get pretty intricate. Some of you guys have seen the Joker that I've done, but you can use regular scissors and you can just cut into it. Try to do this with one hand. You can make a nice clean cut just like that. As you see, the weave does not fray on the very tip, it stays in line. So if you wanted to create an inlay, what you would do is, hold on a second. So what I did was I just cut that little piece off of here. If you wanted to, let's say this was two separate pieces, you literally turn this face up, or adhesive face up. Can't believe I'm doing inlay with one hand, single-handedly. And then since the adhesive is there, you literally could just lay it down, stitch it right back together. And again, fellas, I'm doing this, hold on, with one hand. There's your spot. And it's as if there's a spot right there that I cut. And it's as if it was never even pulled apart. Right? And underneath, you see two separate pieces right there that are holding it together. And again, it doesn't give you a higher point on the piece that you're working with. It'll still wrap around your contour, and you should be good, especially if you're using a press or anything like that. But that's how I do inlays, and you can get a nice clean cut by doing so with relatively a cheap application, and not having to spend extra money for a prepreg piece of carbon, and still get your job done.